This is the Tristen Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristen Law, some retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. Well, last night, we had another episode of WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, where the main event was Goldberg, from 1998. Goldberg versus Gunther. And let me start off by saying this. This was the best Goldberg match I've ever seen. But Goldberg still managed to piss me off. I thought, watching that match, that I was probably going to have to come on here today and I was going to have to crash out. But you know what? I'm probably still going to crash out either way because look, Gunther, he locks in the sleeper hold, right? And then Goldberg, he's out. He's out cold. And then the crowd rises and you're thinking, oh my God, they actually did it. And then Goldberg sits up and guess what? The match is done. Goldberg sits up like nothing happens. He poops on the whole entire main event. He poops on the whole entire thing because all Goldberg wants to get to is his little speech. I was here 28 years. I wrestled 28 years. You know what? Good for you. Good for you. Because I think that Goldberg ruined the moment. Aside from that, today we're going to be talking about Randy Orton. He's with Jelly Roll, the singer. We're going to talk about why that works. Seth Rollins might be out for the summer, so what about Money in the Bank? We're going to speculate on that. Bianca Belair, she is caught in between Naomi and Jade Cargill. I think there's so much meat on the bone there. And yeah, we are definitely going to talk about that Goldberg versus Gunther match. If it's your first time here, this show is fully interactive. So make sure that you get everything that you want to say in the comments. We even have the, where is it? Oh, there it goes. The hotline to where you can come in and voice your opinion, 973-826-0101. It's the promo hotline. I want you to complain about anything. I want you to praise anything in pro wrestling. And what we're going to do, if it's fire, I'm going to be playing it next episode of the Tristen Law Show. And look, we'll be back tomorrow. So my gut reaction to Goldberg sitting up immediately after the match was like, yo, bro, we killed the vibe. You sat up the same exact time that Gunther sat. You sat up before Gunther. Why? Why are you sitting up before Gunther? To me, that makes no sense to me. But going back to the beginning of the match, did Goldberg even earn the match? No. Goldberg did not earn the match. I think it was just Goldberg's going to be retiring. So because Goldberg is retiring, Goldberg could just march in there like his theme song is playing and just demand a title match. Good for him. 28 years. Goldberg feels that because he did 28 years in pro wrestling, that he should be able to march to the front of the line like he's The Rock, like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin, like he's Bret Hart. Imagine how Bret Hart felt watching that BS that played out over the span of the last 3 to 4 weeks. That the same guy that injured him gets to go out on his own terms. Look, man. Look. When you look at the math, Goldberg is not a GOAT. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's not a GOAT. Let me tell you why he's not a GOAT. Because he only held the WCW championship for one time. He's a one-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, right? But when you look at everything else regarding Goldberg, when he held the title in 1998, WCW will be out of business in 2001. In 2001, Cheyenne Ortiz looks like he wants to get on. Let me see if I can get him on here. Let me see if I can get Cheyenne on. Cheyenne, I'm going to send you a text right now. And when I send you that text, I want you to jump in. Oh, wait, Cheyenne is here. Okay, let's get Cheyenne in. Let's get Cheyenne in. Give me a second. We're going to do this right now because we're going to get Cheyenne Ortiz in there. Cheyenne, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me get you over. so that everybody in the world can see your face. Man, it sucks wearing glasses sometimes. I swear, I can't see jack. All right, I got your link. Let me go here into, look, we're going to put Cheyenne Ortiz. We're doing this live. On the fly, ladies and gents, we are putting Cheyenne Ortiz live on the chat. You can't see him yet. He's not John Cena. But you can't see him yet. But once you see him, I think he has some points that he wants to prove. Let's see. Do I see his face yet? Refresh. Nope, I don't see his face. Cheyenne, where is your face?
Right here.
Yeah, that's right. There is your face. All right, let me move. Boom. There you go. Now I can see your face.
Okay.
But you know what? The people can't see your face yet. So let's go ahead and get you all set up and hooked up here, because we're going to debate this whole entire thing today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching, bro. For those of you guys who don't know Cheyenne Ortiz, he's the voice, one of my good friends here in pro wrestling, and what we do is we love to talk about pro wrestling. He's the voice. He's an announcer. He's got his own YouTube channel. So when you're done with this, go to the playlist of my show, the Tristen Law Show on YouTube, and go down to the bottom. There's 2 channels there. One is Heel Vega, and one is Cheyenne, the voice Ortiz. Go check him out. Cheyenne, what's going on?
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and welcome to joining me to the Tristen Law Show. A lot to unpack here, as we like to say.
Definitely a lot to unpack here. Let me put on this other special camera here, so that you could see everything here, because there's gonna be a lot for you to see. All right, now you can see it. Now Cheyenne is here. Can we hear Cheyenne in the world out there? I think that they can hear you. All right, Cheyenne, tell me, how do you feel about this whole damn Gunther thing? Go ahead. The stage is yours.
Well, first and foremost, I wanna thank you for always supporting your friends and keeping your circle tight, and people helping people, as I like to say, as corny as that is. So shout out to you on the first of all of that. Let's talk Saturday night's main event, specifically Gunther and Goldberg. I respectfully disagree with you. And I have some arguments to that disturbance, if you will, in opinion. And I think Gunther and Goldberg ultimately was what we all expected it to be, what we all needed it to be. I think it was very similar to the first Brock and Goldberg encounter, where it was kind of a what'd you expect, that's what he's known for type of thing. I also believe from a format standpoint, the potential severity, because he's certainly injured, severity of the Seth Rollins injury is a factor to that match. I don't think they would have cut to commercial during Goldberg's entrance had Seth Rollins not been harmed. I don't think they would have taken a commercial mid-match had Seth Rollins been harmed. If you just look at the awkwardness of the way that, though it's funny, the match flowed fine in my opinion. The production did not.
And which match we're talking about?
I'm talking about the main event, Goldberg and Gunther.
Yep.
The match was, the fluidity was there. The production fluidity, not so much. We had the abrupt close at the end.
Because they ran out of time. I think that Goldberg and Gunther ran longer because Seth got hurt. Seth and LA Knight, they did about 11 minutes and change. Goldberg did 15 minutes and change. Let me give Goldberg a hand clap, because Goldberg did 15 minutes and change. Golly, longer than his first match.
Bear in mind that the match was over at 5 minutes to what, 10 or 11?
I think it was 5 minutes to 10. 5 minutes to 10. I was working. I was watching on demand.
5 to 10, and if you were watching on Peacock, they cut to commercials.
Well, it wasn't a PLE. It's a regular show like Raw and SmackDown.
Well, they cut to commercials 5 minutes before the end of the show, and for us, we had to turn the stream off, run to NBC, and then all of a sudden Goldberg's in the ring cutting a promo, and they had to cut that off too. But
let me ask you this question. Did you really care what Goldberg had to say? Because I know I didn't care what Goldberg had to say.
I did.
Big whoop-de-doo. Big whoop-de-doo. 28 years. 28 years in pro wrestling. But he didn't even wrestle that long in that 28 years, Cheyenne. He didn't wrestle that long.
So I have some counters to that.
Oh! Counter me then, my friend.
Now,
Go ahead. You know what? The stage is yours. Go ahead. Because I'm ready for you.
Somebody else that you may or may not have heard of. How long did The Rock wrestle?
Okay, how long did The Rock wrestle? Okay, you know what?
His first run.
You know what? I'm not even going to debate that with you. You tell everybody, how long did The Rock wrestle?
What, 9 years tops?
Okay.
8, 7 as a full-timer?
Okay, fine. I'm not going to dispute that. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Go ahead.
He's one of the most beloved people ever, but when he had a full-time run and told Michael Hayes, I don't want to manage, I want to wrestle, and Michael Hayes laughed in his face, how long was the run of Diamond Dallas Page?
Okay, Diamond Dallas Page.
Who was in the audience.
Diamond Dallas Page is still a GOAT because in WCW because he held the championship 2 more times than Goldberg.
Okay.
The Rock is still a GOAT because The Rock held. You ready for this? The Rock held the WCW championship 1 more time than Goldberg.
Now, this is championship-wise going to be a blowout, but think of the tenure. While, yes, we remember him most for his post-2011 run into who knows what it's going to end up like. That first Brock Lesnar WWE run, guys. 3.5 years, 4 tops.
I mean, that's Brock Lesnar, though.
You know, so I think it's funny because when Goldberg was starting to break the formula and improve, WCW was trying to break the formula and not improve. And that's something that people want to forget. Now, look, Goldberg, I'm not sitting here telling you that Goldberg is the greatest of all time. I'm not sitting here to tell you he's my favorite wrestler. But Goldberg, for a generation of individuals, was completely sewn into the fabric of pro wrestling.
I agree. I will give him that, but he's still not a GOAT, and he still doesn't deserve the fanfare.
WCW had guys like Savage, Flair, and Hogan. On the comeuppance was Goldberg, DDP, Booker T, obviously Sting. You know, those were the rising stars that only rose but so much because the company closed down. So again, I think Goldberg should have gotten a title match against Gunther just because, as you said, he marched down the ring and said, I'm Goldberg and I deserve it. Well, that's debatable because why did Shawn Michaels just stroll into the Elimination Chamber in 2002 with 1 match under his belt?
Because Goldberg is not Shawn Michaels.
I agree with that.
Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. He may not be certain people's favorite wrestler, but he's still better than Goldberg.
Well, I just felt compelled to bring those points to you this morning.
Fine. I'm glad that you brought your points up. Let's see what the chat has to say. We got Heel Vega in there. He's representing.
Heel Vega, good morning.
And we got Universal. Universal is the #1. He is the creme de la creme when it comes to the Tristen Law Show. So there's a new thing that YouTube is doing, is that YouTube is giving the live audience like the top 3 rankings. And Universal is the #1. The #1 person that interacts on the Tristen Law Show. So I'm going to give you a hand clap. Real
life clap.
My question is, who is going to be #2 and who's going to be #3? So let's see. Heel Vegas says, congrats on getting to 473. Tristen, you'll be hitting 500 subs soon. Let me tell you, this has been a road. We're in season 4 right now, and I've worked very hard to get the 400 plus subscribers organically. Didn't pay for any, didn't beg a person, didn't get down on my knees and say, hey, be my follower. I didn't do that. Let's see. Good morning, gentlemen. Universe said time for someone to bring some sanity here. I think he's probably talking about either you, Cheyenne, bringing the sanity, or him bringing the sanity to the chat. I don't know. He holds down the chat, and I hold down the live stream. Heel Vegas says Tristen trashing Goldberg as if Goldberg is the worst wrestler of all time when Disco Inferno exists.
Oh, Disco wasn't the worst wrestler of all time. He wasn't. That's a good line, though.
Look, I hate Heel Vega. That's his name. He's a heel. Because what he does is he just comes in and he just like rolls a grenade into the room and walk out. He does. He rolls a grenade into the room and walk out. And every time when we do this, and we're doing this again, everyone, me and Felicia from the Storyline Podcast, she's booked to be here tomorrow morning, Monday at 11 a.m. We're going to be talking about Evolution. I thought it'd be great to have a woman with me to talk about Evolution. So, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. But
I'll be tuning in. All of you should do the same.
Appreciate you. Much love to you. But Hilfiger just walks into the room and rolls a grenade and walks out. So let me ask you this. Despite how you feel, Cheyenne, about Mr. William Michael Goldberg, I don't know if his middle name is Michael, but it just fit. After the match last night with Gunther, what is your perception of Goldberg overall? Has it changed?
I was not expecting Flair Steamboat. I was not expecting Shawn and Brett. I wasn't even expecting, Rock and Triple H. I was expecting a Goldberg match. I think that's what I got. I think he was in there with one of the best wrestlers in the world today, with one of the best wrestlers of his era. When you make an argument of best wrestlers in the world today, Gunther's in the top 5 conversation. For me, he's in the top 3. It's not his year like last year was Gunther's year, but he's still, as a wrestler, one of the top 3. Certainly, you could not have picked a better opponent. If you could have, it would have been Chad Gable.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm more than fine with the match. I would love if the match went up on either YouTube or Vault, probably YouTube. I would love if the match went up in its entirety. I think that's something, again, this goes back to the production issues. I think that's something that, had we seen the match from bell to bell, I think everyone's perception, whatever it is, would have been different. But yeah, Goldberg is always going to be, good, bad, or indifferent, an icon. He's certainly a legend, and if you just, to your point, the tenure, the championship reigns, but this is the guy who on paper, let's look at it on paper now, undefeated in pro wrestling, U.S. champion, the guy who beat Hulk Hogan, the only guy besides Sting that had the memorable Hulk Hogan defeat, dethroned Triple H after his 9-month world title reign, and had some of the most talked about moments in pro wrestling in his WWE run. Goldberg and Taker, Goldberg and Rock, Goldberg and Rock, Goldberg and Brock, Goldberg and Triple H. So yeah, the iconography is there, and he got to do it on his own terms because a lot of wrestlers don't get to do that. That's the part of retirements that fans don't want to talk about. That not every time wrestlers don't get to do it on their terms.
I guess you're right. Not about the icon part. We're going to totally disagree with that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. My perception of Goldberg, I said from the beginning when I started this episode, this was the best match that I've ever seen from Goldberg ever. I just watched on WWE Vault here on YouTube, and if you're not watching WWE Vault, get your life together.
Yeah, seriously.
Get your life together. It's replacing the WWE Network. I just watched Bobby Lashley and Goldberg, and that match was like, oh, that was a good match. But this match here was the match of the night. I wanted Goldberg to walk out of there with no nipples. I wanted Goldberg to get the nipples chopped off of him by Gunther. And what did I get? You know what? I got a hell of a match. I like the way that they got more mileage out of the whole entire thing with Goldberg and Gunther because they went to the knee brace spot. They went to the ability to have them work outside the ring to get Gage involved. Do you know why I'm so afraid before we move on to LA Knight and Seth Rollins? Because right now there's 2 shows going on. There's one going on in the chat and one going on right here. That's why you have to watch the Tristen Law Show live. I'm afraid that we're going to get Gage versus Gunther?
Oh, I didn't think of that, but the argument's there, right? Oh wow, yeah. I mean, that's definitely my statement. Well, it's no secret that Gage has been training for wrestling to some degree or another, right? And does he play college football or does he play professional?
I think he plays college ball. He's still young.
Okay.
And when you're done, let me know, because I gotta crash out again. That's what the young kids say, crash out. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm about to crash out. I just seen a comment at Universal Row.
Oh, I don't know what that means. So
while out, bugging out.
Yeah, no, I don't listen to folk music. So yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah, that makes sense, right? Because that's the revenge tour. You know, let me avenge my father. I guess that's similar to Dominic and Seth to a degree, right? Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense to me. I'm not mad at that. Me personally, the storytelling's there. If you could leave a sign at a golf course where a guy got his ass thrown in a lake, then you could certainly put somebody's son against Gunther.
Look, I'll just say this. I just hope he's better than his father. And before we move on, Universal had to test.
What's going to define that for you? For you as an individual, forget the chat. What's going to define that as an individual for you? Because now, let's be fair, it's wrestling 25, 30 years later. He's going to be better. The athleticism is there. The pedigree is there.
Goldberg still wasn't good at 30 years old. So what does that mean? Like, what the hell does that mean? Hopefully he's not a chip off the old block.
No. So you've never enjoyed a Goldberg?
No, I've never enjoyed a Goldberg match.
You never liked Goldberg versus Sting?
Okay, fine. When I was a kid, you know what? You want me to be 100 right now about Goldberg? I'll be 100. Okay. When Goldberg used to come out and go, I used to do the thing. I used to do the...
Like Venom?
The shit that he does when he comes out, his gimmick when he walks out. I'll do it.
You look like you're having an anaphylactic shock.
Look, I'm allergic to peanuts. So you know, and shrimp. So you know, when we go hang out and we go eat, I'm allergic to shrimp and peanuts.
Okay, good to know.
But I've never seen a Goldberg match where I'll go, let me recline my chair and watch this. Until last night. So before we move on, let me just hit this real quick. Universal says...
If you're allergic to shrimp in the chat, comment.
Universal says that Goldberg is on his Mount Rushmore.
I'm seeing that now, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to put a stick of dynamite in his Mount Rushmore. Moving on. From one banged up legend who might be sidelined, let's talk about Seth Rollins and LA Knight. Let me tell you something. I think that Seth Rollins... Okay, if you subscribe to the Tristen Law Show, you know, you'll see that, you know, I put up, a little prediction video that I do, you know, so don't even worry about looking at that now because you're late. But I put on there, I mean, go look at it when you're done. Why not? Look at my predictions. I was 3 for 4, but I put that Seth Rollins was going to lose that match. I didn't think he was going to lose like that. But I definitely give Seth Rollins his flowers because he still finished the match. If you know where to look, you can see where they changed the finish on the fly and they went into it. And you know what? It might have been not what was supposed to happen, but you know what? They still finished the match and LA Knight still came out strong and Seth Rollins still came out like a champion. What did you think about that match last night, Cheyenne?
Well, a lot of respect to Seth for ultimately relaying to either the ref or the doctor, like, hey, just tell him hit me with the finish and we'll go home with, you know, from there. Because in theory, once you're hurt, you know, the status quo is, you know, it's a no contest. The X is up and you're done. Seth being the vet, the constant professional that he is, the incredible athlete and wrestler, he's like, hey, just tell Knight we're gonna go home. I think as a match, it was what I expected. I was really looking forward to it because I think LA Knight as an athlete is not what we're talking about, and we should. So for him to be in there with arguably the standard athlete in the WWE was a great, you know, spotlight for him. Same way I felt about Penta being in there with the workhorse that is Seth Rollins. As a match, I thought it was fine. I think we were just starting to cook. if you go back to the what I want to know is if you go back to just before the injury, Seth does this springboard senton. And if you take a look at that right ankle, it kind of bows out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's a factor to when he lands on his feet for LA Knight evading the potential lion salt or whatever you want to call it.
The announcers did say something like, "Oh, that's the knee that's been bothering him." So I don't know. Maybe he had some issues with his knee. You know,
that was the problem knee, right? Or was I bugging?
That was the problem knee because
okay.
Look, okay, fine. I will tell everybody in wrestling if you don't know, Cheyenne is in wrestling. But let me tell you, if you don't know about wrestling, normally when you're working, your injured body part is always on the left side, left arm, left leg, left hand, left foot, left elbow, left ass cheek, whatever it is. It's
Which,
always,
by the way, to further that point, is because most people in life
are right-handed. Mm-hmm.
So that way you can still work the match without grab and hold people without losing your dominant arm. And I promise you, if somebody's working a left side, it's either A, because they are
right-handed.
They're right-handed, excuse me, or they just for some reason sell that part better, and it's usually a leg.
That is true as well, too. And if you're even left-handed in wrestling, you have to learn how to work with your right. You got to learn to throw punches with your right and kick with your right.
And John Cena is left-handed and a southpaw. He throws with his left, but everything he controls is with his right.
I didn't know that. You know
Same as Road Dogg. Road Dogg's a southpaw also.
That's right, because when you used to do the
Yeah.
All right, cool. You see, we all learned something here today. That's why you subscribe to the Tristen Law Show. But Seth Rollins' injured knee was his right knee. So that's what you could say. You know what? Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Whenever I teach people about wrestling, I always say there's a rule book, right? There's an unwritten way of how to do wrestling. But
Correct.
There's always that however. So you could work the right leg or the right side of the body if it makes sense in the story. Maybe, you know it's something that's always injured or something like that. So you can go ahead and work the right side. But you normally always work the left side. But they did mention that Seth Rollins did have a little bit of, maybe he tweaked his knee or something like that. Maybe they were trying to sell it. But my main thing right now is, I'm going to ask you, Cheyenne, what about Money in the Bank? What about that briefcase?
I had a conversation with a few different people last night about it, and it's corny. It's the ESPN answer, but we need to know the severity of the injury. We need to know what it is, because bear in mind, this is the guy that got hurt weeks before WrestleMania 40, still had a tune-up main event match on the go-home Raw before WrestleMania 40, and then worked 2 nights in a row for WrestleMania 40. So maybe it's something surgery can avoid. Maybe it's something that is strictly PT related. We don't know yet.
Maybe he needs some
really
Ben
don't know
Gay
the severity. And here's the thing.
On his knee.
Like I said, this is a guy who came back from that leg injury 10 years ago, or almost 10 years ago, during his first title run, in wicked quick record time. And again, he has always beat the odds of rehab. And like I said, for WrestleMania 40 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, this is a guy who postponed surgery, got all the way to WrestleMania, had tune-up matches during injury, and shined. So I just want to see where it goes. And then, look, everybody knows that I have a promoter's brain from time to time. What's the worst thing that happens? For the first time ever, a formal Money in the Bank match on Monday Night Raw on Netflix? Is that not something that whets everybody's appetite? Is because we've seen instances where superstars get injured and lose Money in the Bank, where they've had the one-on-one matches and they're very quick to get the briefcase off of them. We've seen that maybe 3 times. My dream scenario is, for the first time ever on Monday Night Raw, a formal Money in the Bank match, because the briefcase does belong to the Raw brand, or you have a reset. Because if I'm Seth Rollins, why would I give it to Braun Breaker, and why would Big Bronson Reed not be offended by that?
Boom.
If I'm Seth Rollins, if I give it to Bronson Reed and I'm Braun Breaker, why would I not be upset by that?
Boom.
If I come back from injury 6 months from now, do I think I'm Goldberg, to quote somebody else on the show? Do I think I'm Goldberg and I should get the briefcase back from whoever wins it? If we're going to talk about the unwritten rule, rules of pro wrestling, well, if Seth Rollins' injury is more than 90 days, then he has to vacate the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I disagree.
I
disagree with that.
Especially considering he has up to a year to cash in. So what if his injury is only 9 months? For the first time ever, an injured competitor owns the Money in the Bank contract and can come back from injury fresh and ready to go with 3 months on it and can still cash in. A lot of scenarios to play out here, kids.
So I want to tell you about what I disagree with, but Universal said that the knee almost popped out on Raw. It swelled up in the dressing room after the show. They had to drain his knee.
Which Raw was this? The one that just happened?
It could have been. I think Universal might be an insider or something like that. I don't know who Universal
is. Penta? Was that match Universal?
It might be. Universal, let us know in the chat. But Heel Vegas says that he would like to see, well, obviously he said all jokes aside, he's hoping that Seth's recovery. Honestly, we all make fun here. We all have a good time, but you know what? It's how he feeds his family. Imagine if any of us were unable to go to work and feed our family. But what Heel Vegas is saying is that LA Knight should pin Seth again via a roll-up or something to win the briefcase. I don't like that. So
yeah,
I think
that's too quick.
Right. It's the easy answer. I think that it should be a Money in the Bank match. I think that it should not be on Raw because me and one of my really good friends, we are going to SummerSlam next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. In 19 days, we are going to SummerSlam, and I would love to see a Money in the Bank match live. Restart the clock there or say, you know what, you only have until next Money in the Bank to do it. But like you said, Cheyenne, it's going to depend on one thing. It's going to depend on how long Seth Rollins is going to be hurt. If you could put some Bengay on it, let him do some push-ups and some PT, and he could walk it off, then you know what? Let's just go with that.
So let's go your way. Think about the fact that SummerSlam, for the first time ever, is a 2-night event. It's in New York. It's in a stadium. We already have announced Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
That's right.
We already have announced Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Seth Rollins. Versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, which we'll touch on in a few moments.
Definitely are.
So we've got 2 announced matches. The idea that we have roughly 3 weeks to say to you, hey, we're going to do for the first time ever Money in the Bank, outside of Money in the Bank, outside of WrestleMania. It's the only 2 platforms I've ever been on. Think about that. Think about that. That's, again, now I'm going to change my idea. I can see the point of not giving it away for free on Netflix or USA. SummerSlam, and again, that's a platform for guys to shine again, because I'm all about guys getting the spotlight. Who can win? I don't want to have that discussion until we have answers.
Okay, fine. You don't have to have that discussion. I'll just do it for you. LA Knight. LA Knight has worked so damn hard. But I think, like I always say, the problem with LA Knight is that LA Knight is only interesting when he's chasing. Once he has it, it's like, all right, LA Knight speaks well on the mic. He wrestles really well. He's everything. But it's just that nobody ever puts him in danger where you can be like, oh, wow, that's kind of crazy. Now, if LA Knight wins, I think that maybe Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, they should probably go after him and make him put him into some kind of danger. The Braun Bros, that's what I call them these days. But I 100% think that LA Knight could be the winner. He should be the person that climbs up there last minute, sneaks up, and wins the belt because him winning is the easy answer. Yeah, what do you think?
I never thought of the fact that he's not interesting when he's the champion, because I found his United States title run to be too short. But here's the other thing, too. I'm not saying you're wrong, but a problem that a lot of people, champions in WWE, are having, heel or babyface, is that, especially the babyfaces, the rogues gallery, if you will, the contenders are there. The competition is there, right? And the matches are there, right? But the storylines from time to time is where things get murky. So I can book, let's just say LA Knight, right? So SmackDown, I could book LA Knight versus any of the Samoans. I could book him against Drew, against Orton, against one of the up-and-coming talents from the draft, the matches are there, but to keep the investment going is different. Because as a wrestling fan, if you tell me, this is an example, you're going to book Cody versus, let's just say, Chad Gable with just cold going into it, I'm sold. Great match. If you're going to book Cody versus, let's just say, Penta, sold. That's going to be a great match. But there's the other sector of fans that are like, oh, why are they wrestling? Why? Why are they wrestling? He's not Goldberg. He shouldn't get a title shot. You know, whatever people say. But I never thought of it that way. But that happens with a lot of champions too, where the competition's there. Cody and AJ Styles, storyline wise, wasn't that great, but the matches were solid. So that happens. That, you know, it's strange. It's strange how when John Cena was the U.S. champion, and now we have things like the U.S. Championship Challenge because of John, it was okay for him to face guys cold and just give them a platform. But when you're the world champion, it's like, oh, why is that happening? Type of situation. But I never thought of it that way for LA Knight to kind of put a button on this, because his first title reign was so short. We waited a while for it to happen, because he literally went from the $1 million title to the U.S. X amount of years later. It's a big gap.
Yeah, 100%. And when I mean that LA Knight is not interesting, I just want to make sure I preface this properly, set the table properly, because I got people like Universal and Heel Vega in the chat.
Vega knows what's up. He knows what's up. Why that thing?
But they like to roast me, so I got to make sure that I set the table properly so they can understand what's going on.
Well, that's why I'm giving you crap on this one.
Look, you're supposed to be on my side, okay? Not be on their side. Be on my side.
When I'm here, this is Drive Time Radio. I can't keep saying, "Oh, Tristen, you're so smart. You're so special." I can't do that.
Well, you know what, Cheyenne? Thank you for the compliment still. But look, when I say that LA Knight is not interesting, what I mean primarily is that there's nobody that I feel like when he was U.S. champion, like Heel Vega said that they're having great matches. LA Knight was having great matches as United States champion. But who was the person that you feel puts him in danger? He needs somebody to put him in danger consistently. To like even with Cody Rhodes, that was his issue the first time as champion. It's like he didn't really face anybody. The only person that I ever felt that put Cody Rhodes in danger doing that first title run was Kevin Owens, right? So you need somebody to you go like, damn, you know what? That's going to be somebody that could take that might take the belt off of him. I didn't feel that with LA Knight.
But again, that's like, that's such a tough. You're not wrong and you're not right, because again, the opponents are there, right? Because okay, so let's switch it. Shinsuke and Cody, God, I hate saying this because I love Shinsuke, but the general response from everybody was, "Oh, Shinsuke can't beat Cody." I don't believe that, right? But the storyline, the Predator that was Shinsuke at the time, was very compelling, and the matches were solid. I saw them do a TV quality match at the Garden when they did the bull rope match for the Christmas tour, I think 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But the perception is, oh, there's no way Cody beats that guy. There's no way. You got to pick and choose, right? If you're not going to suspend your disbelief, then what are you bitching about?
All right.
Because there's tons of people that face the champion that you know, or you don't expect for them to go over.
You're right, but I just feel like not everybody, like that first title run, that first shot, I just feel like somebody needs to be able to be like, you know what, that guy's going to snatch his kufi right off his head, right? Because right. Because it's just like, you can't just walk like LA Knight. You know what? Maybe it's LA Knight's fault. Maybe he's just too damn good on the mic. Maybe he just eats people alive and there's nobody that could stand in the ring with him. Because like back in the day, when The Rock was eviscerating people on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, the show named after him, you can look at him like, you know what, damn, that's some good talk right there.
Okay, but now let's go your way, right? So when The Rock was on top and on Raw and SmackDown in 98, 99, when The Rock was facing Bulldog or Boss Man or Al Snow, you knew The Rock was going over, right? Even as a kid.
100%. I was a teenager at that time.
But
I wasn't a kid. I was a teenager.
But when The Rock was facing Austin or Taker or Triple H, there was a sense of danger who's going to win, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now Cody faces, let's just say, Shinsuke, Sami Zayn, and Chad Gable. You don't think he's gonna win, right?
You know what?
You don't think those guys are gonna win, right?
Honestly, after watching Chad Gable's work rate at the AAA show last month or the month before, might have been last month or the month before, I don't put nothing past Chad Gable. Too bad he's hurt.
Well, that's different. That's just in terms of television perception, because Chad Gable's the best wrestler in the world today, period.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
I'm gonna run away with that. Now,
you got it.
But if Cody takes on, say, Cena, Roman, or Brock, you're like, oh, no way Cody retains against those guys. Guys, this is not a new problem. This is not a new problem. When Hogan would face Earthquake, you didn't think he was going to win? Oh, but it took him facing the Ultimate Warrior. When Warrior faced Rick Rude for the third time, you didn't think Rick Rude was going to win, and he should have. This is not a new problem.
But when Ric Flair was the NWA traveling NWA World Champion, if you watch,
yes,
hold on, time out. There's a lot of y'all watching right now. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later on demand because you actually go to church on a Saturday, on a Sunday instead of watching wrestling, hit that like button right now. What are you doing and not hitting the like button? Hit the like button. But either way, Cheyenne, what I was saying, and thank you very much for joining us. Either way, what I'm saying, Cheyenne, I need to have you on more often. Like you're my dude, bro, and I just love being able to sit here because, like, fine, I'll admit you don't kiss my behind all the time, right? Which I don't want. You're not a yes man. You challenge me a little bit, which I like. But here's my point. My point is that when Ric Flair was the traveling NWA's world champion, he would go on to the different territories.
Yes.
And in the different territories, there would be a champion. It might be like the New York State champion, the Florida State champion, all under the NWA banner because you know what? Ric Flair wasn't there every single month or every single week. Ric Flair would put on a match with that person that made you say, you know what? That, Cheyenne Ortiz, he's the New Jersey State champion. He just might beat Ric Flair. And boom, last minute, Ric Flair snatches it from them.
So if we want to educate people on wrestling real quick, here's the short course on that, right? Tristen Law is the king of New York. I'm the king of New Jersey. Let's just say Universal's the king of Massachusetts. And let's just say that Heel Vega is the king of Maryland, right? And we are the singular rulers of our states. Ric Flair is the champion of not just that, but the 7 continents and the galaxy and the world. And then you work Ric Flair and you realize why he rules the world. And that's why you would do a finish like a time limit draw, a disqualification, or a dusty finish to protect your singular champion. Sadly, because wrestling has evolved and now there's so many intelligent fans, you kind of can't do that anymore to a degree. If it's done right, you can, but you can't do it as regularly as before because now wrestling is seen everywhere. If you do a match in New Jersey and you think, nobody's going to see it, but then you put it on YouTube, somebody in Far East Malaysia is going to see it. So you have to have that broadness in your mind from a broadcast standpoint. I get what you're saying, but, and this is something I talk about a lot with my nephew, the WWE in general, and AEW to an extent, is so top heavy that it's kind of like, well, who really? Oh, Cody beat LA Knight. They buried him. LA Knight beat Cody. What are they doing? Cody's the top guy. The WWE is so top heavy right now that who can you really satisfy? Oh, LA Knight, they finally gave him his moment. We're just getting started with Cody's story. Oh, we're only on chapter 4. Who are you really pleasing, right? You can never please anybody. You can never please a wrestling fan at that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, WWE is so top heavy right now while building guys up. We're still building Solo. We're still building Jacob Fatu. We're still building Chad Gable. We're still building Penta. We're still building Mariah May. Mariah May just debuted, and we're still building Jordan Grace.
Facts.
The WWE universe is literally a universe right now because there's so many stars.
And I want to piggyback off that to say this as well, too. When back in the day when it was The Rock and Stone Cold on the top, and one of them got hurt, it's like you had to scramble. Like, who's next? Right now, in the current climate of the WWE, There's so many people on top. Some people say, oh, I don't like the fact that Seth Rollins is wrestling is feuding with 3 people at one time. I don't like the fact that CM Punk is feuding with these other people at one time. It's just the way that they're structuring pro wrestling right now is that everybody can be switched in and out depending on what the storyline needs and what the storyline calls for. So instead of there just being one top guy, there's multiple top guys. You got your Roman Reigns. You got your LA Knight is a top guy. I don't care what anybody tells me. You got your Drew McIntyres. You got your CM Punks. You got even your Dominic Mysterio. Throw Dominic Mysterio into a main event match right now and watch him shine.
Absolutely.
Watch him shine.
Now, okay, you're not wrong because we've been seeing this formula for a while now because this is how we build more than one superstar at once. Because now if Seth is injured, we have 2 bad guys ready to go. Correct?
100%.
Okay, so to me, there's nothing wrong with that formula because injuries happen. You got to be ready on the fly. And then when everybody goes their separate ways, they're ready, right? Okay. Well, okay. When Dusty and Rick were feuding, Dusty had to go through Arn and Tully to get to Rick.
Yep.
When DX was shooting with the Nation, well, for Triple H to get to The Rock, he had to go through D'Lo and Mark Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, guys, this is not a new problem. It's just more prevalent, but it's not a new problem.
All right, so since we're talking about groups, right? Since we're talking about groups, let's talk about MFT. The Bloodline 2.0, 3.0, whatever the hell they are right now. Uh-huh. So last time we had Solo Sikoa versus his big bro, Jimmy Uso. Did you, for a second, think that Jimmy Uso was going to walk out of there with the United States Championship?
I did. I think he had a chance. I did. I think he had a chance because of the fact that I don't think people expected Solo to beat Jacob. I don't think people expected Solo to beat Jacob. I think Jacob was going to get a win just to get a win. I definitely believe that Jimmy had a chance, and I'll do you one further. What I expected last night was for not Jay to come out. Hear me out. It would have been a hot shot, but it's what I was expecting. I thought Lance Anoa'i was going to come out and help out the babyfaces.
That would be different. You know, because we're adding everybody right now to the MFT My Family tree. Now you got Lance Anoa'i. If you don't know who Lance Anoa'i is, he's one of the Samoans. He's been wrestling in the Northeast on the Indies for a while. Have been in a couple shows with him, me and Cheyenne, respectively, together.
Great guy.
You know, good guy. You know, he's the one that taught me how to pronounce the last name. I thought it was Anoa'i or Anoi. I think it was Anui. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was like Anoi. No, it was Anoa'i. He was, oh, my bad, bro. No disrespect to the fam. No disrespect to the fam. But I knew that I felt. I don't want to say that I knew because I don't know. I felt that Solo Sikoa was beating Jacob Fatu. Why? Because Solo Sikoa is the only person that came out of the Bloodline, the original Bloodline or the second part of the Bloodline, whatever it was, and didn't have any depth to him. He needs that championship win. He needs it so badly. Okay. I thought that he was a little bit too much of a goof coming out on the other side of everything, but now you know what? We can mix that goofiness in there with a little bit. I did not think for a second that Jimmy Uso was going to beat that Jimmy Uso was going to beat Solo Fatu at all, because I don't see that as a story. What I see as a story is that Jacob Fatu needs to make friends. Jacob Fatu can go back for that U.S. Championship, but he needs to make friends. He can't do it. They got that. They got Tama Tonga. They got Tonga Loa. They got Mateo. They got Tala Tonga. The only reason they call him Tala Tonga because he's like 7 feet tall. And you know what? You can't teach that. So you got all those people together in that one group. Jacob Fatu needs a friend. So he's making his friend right now out of Jimmy Uso. And you know who the best friend is that nobody's going to see, Cheyenne?
Who's that?
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is going to be...
Are we planting seeds until he got hurt, for Roman to attack Seth Rollins' group?
You know what? That could have been something that could be going into the Survivor Series.
It was touched on this past Monday on Raw.
It is, but the issue is that when Roman Reigns came in, when he came back to defeat the Bloodline, all he did was squash a few roaches. He didn't bomb the house.
Okay.
If he had bombed the house, there wouldn't be any MFT right now. Just be Solo Sikoa walking around talking about, that goofiness that he does. That's what we would have right now. But Roman Reigns needs to come back and just eradicate them all together, send them on their separate ways, make them go bye-bye, let Jacob Fatu get the championship, and everything is going to be all well in the world.
Okay.
That is my thought. Poop on it. Let's see what the chat says. Trina's here. What's going on, Trina? Nice to have you here. She said she'll be honest with us. She didn't even watch Saturday night's main event. She watched All In. Look.
Oh, she's still watching it and finished at midnight.
Right. Well, look. Did it finish that late?
No, it finished at oh no, I think it finished during Goldberg's entrance, right?
Oh wow.
I saw a tweet that it has the record now. It beat WrestleMania 35 as the longest wrestling show.
I was at WrestleMania 35. I still feel like WWE owes me a paycheck for being there that day.
Yeah, I don't know the full runtime, but I know it beat the record yesterday.
But look, Trina, look. I don't care if you didn't watch Saturday night's main event, and I don't care if you watched All In. Because honestly, this is about wrestling. We all love wrestling. I'm not telling you not to watch nothing or to go. I know that's not what you're saying. I'm not telling you to go watch one thing over the other or whatever it may be. What I'm saying is that, you know what, girl, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. Universal said that he shared this with all of us. Jacob was officially booked to retain the title and win by DQ versus Solo. Jean-Paul, you remember that Jean-Paul guy? Cheyenne, the guy from
French.
WCW? Terrorizing?
He was French.
Yeah, never made anything of himself. But he changed it last minute to Solo winning the title. Heel Vega said, for anybody following Swerve's story...
Universal, could you get me a job? Keep going.
Right? Universal, where do you work? Do you work? You know what? I don't want to know this about Universal. What I want to know, maybe one day I can meet Universal and be like, Universal could be like, hey, you know what? I work for whatever. I'd love to bring you on for the podcast. How about you and Cheyenne Ortiz? Come on. God, I'm dying. My bad, everybody. I had this cough for like weeks now. It's nothing crazy. It's just less and less every day. Just letting, everything go through its work. My bad. But you know what? Universal, good point. Let's see. Universal said, great booking last night. Heel Vega looks like he watched AEW's All In. Yep, shout out to him. I did watch the pre-show while I was getting ready for the real job. But Cheyenne, let me ask you this. What do you feel about the name MFT? It's no longer the Bloodline. It's no longer Solo and them. It's no longer Solo and the Tongans and JC Mateo. It's now MFT. What do you think about that name?
It's fine. Because it's why would you walk around saying my family tree? It's fine. Who cares? It's his. It's fine.
Look, as long as they don't refer to it as my family tree, I'm okay with it. But it's one of those things that it makes me say, thank God that Vince McMahon has nothing to do with the WWE. Because imagine the names that he could have thought of. It could have been like, I don't know, the Tongan dynasty, the Samoan. I don't know what the names that he could have picked out. But I just want
to shout out commentary. Both Wade Barrett and Michael Cole did an excellent job of legitimately putting in your head that they are MFT.
Yeah. And what they did as well, too, on SmackDown was they zoomed in on the back of the shirt to where it said MFT, my family tree. They explain it without even really explaining it the night before on SmackDown.
Yep.
But the thing, too, though, is that I always wonder what the hell is on the cutting room floor. What's left? What did they didn't discuss? But tonight we are going to have WWE Evolution. I beat Evolution to death about my thoughts about Evolution. If you missed it, that was the previous show. That was the first episode of season 4. So make sure you go check that out. We're getting ready to take this home in just a little bit. But Naomi and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, they are now married to each other. They are now married to each other at WWE Evolution. And tonight we saw that, last night we saw that there might be a little bit of sisterhood or there might be a little setup there because Naomi attacks Jade Cargill in the crowd. Naomi and Jade Cargill got this new thing that was like, you know what, girl, when I see you, it's on sight. It's on site. Bianca's now the special guest referee, and the question is, whose side is she on? Cheyenne, whose side do you think that she's on?
You know, I think we're gonna have the classic inadvertent loss. I think we're going to have the, oh my God, I didn't mean to situation. I don't think we're gonna have an outright heel turn.
I think that, you know what? The issue going into that whole entire story with Naomi and Bianca Belair and all the and Jade Cargill was that Jade Cargill said that when she got knocked unconscious and she woke up, all she saw was Naomi running away. You're trying to tell me, with all the cameras in the place, the only camera angle we got was Liv Morgan walking the opposite direction? The opposite direction? I think that Bianca Belair, she's into this, that maybe she wanted to do it, but maybe the issue is that Naomi beat her to it. So because Naomi beat her to it, she wasn't able to get to do it. But you know what? Bianca Belair could still become a heel. There could be another heel in the story, and she doesn't have to side. She doesn't have to side with Naomi, because you know what? Bianca Belair, she's got her own gripe. She deserves to be on top. She doesn't deserve to be the mid-card champion. You know, like you got Jade Cargill and Naomi right now. They're just it's just on site for them. And I don't think, especially after tonight, that we're going to get the answer to the story at Evolution, but I think that win, lose, or draw, Naomi's going to come out there and she's going to snatch that championship. She's going to snatch that championship from her, from Jade Cargill, because Jade Cargill doesn't have any right to win the championship in the eyes of Naomi. Cheyenne, let me ask you this. If you're booking WWE, how do you book Bianca, Naomi, and Jade?
That's tough because Jade comes in as a megastar, the same caliber as everybody else, right? It's not like she had to work her way up, and I'm not saying that as a bad or a rude statement. I'm very curious to know how this goes for those three ladies, because it's not the end. I think we're in the middle of the story, especially because we've been seeing Naomi and Jade predominantly out of the three, and now we're going to have Bianca in the mix. So I think we're going to see the next building block to SummerSlam. I think that's for sure where we're going with these three.
I 100% agree. I've been wanting and begging for long-term storytelling when it comes to the woman, and I'm just so excited just to see where it goes. We got where is that? I just saw the message from Ryan. Ryan, good news. Shout out to you, Ryan. Good news. Thank you so much for watching. He said that Naomi needs to cash in tonight, and Universal asked a really good question. That question was, against who? Because you know the thing that I see sometimes with the pro wrestling fans is that, you know what, we just want fast food results. We just want to put our stories in the microwave and just go ahead and get what we want real quick, fast, and in a hurry. True. Because if Naomi cashes in against, let's say, Io Sky, then what? Then what? What happens next? If she cashes in against Tiffany Stratton, then what? What happens next? I think that if it goes into SummerSlam and then Jade Cargill wins and then Naomi cashes in on Jade Cargill, now you're adding another layer to that story with Bianca and with Jade and Naomi. Then Bianca comes in and goes, nah, girl, I'm not letting you live because, you know, I carried you for the tag team championship. I want my championship. You know, match as well too. You can get a three-way down the line. That's just how I see it going sometime. I don't know.
You know, it's funny because I would rather see this story play out further, and I would rather it be that Stratton defeats Stratus to then get, okay, what's next? I would rather this story continue instead of a cash-in for it to be, oh, now what, versus, in my opinion, even though I'm a huge Trish Stratus mark, I would prefer when Stratton beats Stratus tonight, then you say, oh, okay, that was cool, a great match, what's next? I wouldn't sacrifice a cash-in on these three when there's so much story that could be told, because you could take this to at least October.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Let Naomi win the champion. Let Jade win. And the second that she wins, let Naomi come out there and take that belt from her. Naomi takes that belt from her. They can go till at least October. You're right.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this. I want to talk about the match now that surprised me the most. I'm talking about Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. This match even gave me goosebumps primarily. For what gave me goosebumps though is 100%. It's the entrance of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. When I saw Randy Orton and Jelly Roll came out, I got goosebumps. Why? Because I can see 100%. Excuse me for what I'm about to say. Cover your kids' ears until I put my finger down. Jelly Roll loves this shit.
Oh, he's legitimate. He's legitimate. He's not there to bullshit it, for sure.
Oh, let me put my hand up again. All right. You're right. Because when I was hearing on the dirt sheets that we're going to have Jelly Roll involved in a match, I'm like, why the hell are we going to have Jelly Roll in a match? What? We're going to have Jelly Roll, a guy named Jelly Roll in a match. Why are we going to put him into a match? He's not no Boboni. He's not no Logan Paul. But you know what, though? 100%. Seeing the seriousness, like Jelly Roll's lost a lot of weight. Since we seen him at SummerSlam in Nashville last year, if I think that's where it was, or Las Vegas, or whatever it was. The last time we saw Jelly Roll.
SummerSlam in Nashville, yeah.
The last time we saw Jelly Roll at SummerSlam in Nashville last year, compared to now, it's two different men. He's lost a lot of weight.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell, though, that Jelly Roll has respect for the business, because it seems like Randy Orton is his handler. Randy Orton is the person that's going to make sure that he goes to SummerSlam and puts on a good match. But on paper, I rolled my eyes. I said no. Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul. I don't think that Logan Paul has enough experience in the business to lead anybody in the ring. But you're going to put Drew McIntyre in there. You're going to put Logan Paul in there. And you're going to put Randy Orton. I think that this is going to be one of the best matches at SummerSlam. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining matches. I think Jelly Roll is going to surprise you at a Bad Bunny level, in my opinion. I think we're going to get great training vignettes out of Orton and Jelly Roll for the build-up.
Nice.
I think we're going to get great backstage segments of bickering between Logan Paul and McIntyre, and I think, I'm not going to tell you they're going to steal the show at SummerSlam, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Look, pleasantly surprised, 100%, because Jelly Roll, he adds a little bit of credibility to the whole entire thing. I was thinking, oh my God, Jelly Roll, what are we going to get? It's just another guy here, just to come in, just to make a little bit of money. But we get a little bit of credibility with him. He gets to put his hands on Logan Paul. You know, it seems like he's still figuring himself out. You know, in the whole entire thing. And you can tell, if you know where to look in the whole entire thing, you know that Randy Orton is the one that's driving the traffic. Yeah, Randy Orton is the OG. He's the OG. Jelly Roll gets the ability to not only be in the WWE ring, but he's going to get trained maybe by Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and also Logan Paul. Look, I want this channel to blow up so that I too could go ahead and get on the WWE, WrestleMania. Let me wrestle again. I just need one WrestleMania match. That's it. Put me in a tag match against Logan Paul. I don't know. Just book this shit. I don't know. Book this shit. Is this the celebrity matches you think you needed, Cheyenne?
Now it is. I mean, the celebrity match that I needed was the Travis Scott match, but that's a different conversation.
We don't talk about Travis Scott here because he's buns. He's bread. He's soft.
I'm sorry, did you say he's buns?
He's buns. We don't talk about him. He's buns. He's DDP.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Okay.
He's DDP.
Look at the production here. How could you not love it here?
He's DDP.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm weird because I never wanted to see, not in a negative space, and I come from the era where celebrities were very much a part of wrestling on a regular basis. Mr. T, Lawrence Taylor, James Buster Douglas, I go that far. in terms of involvement, where celebrities at WrestleMania they had to have somebody, and then they just got to stop, and now they have like 6 every year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's a celebrity match that I wanted because I'm invested now, because I'm curious, but I never go out of my way and say, oh, who would be great in a match. I don't do that.
Well, I'm excited for this match. I can't wait for this match. I'm tuned into SmackDown. I watch SmackDown now because it's 2 hours now. When it was 3 hours, like, oh my God, there's still more? I was talking to my friend Lewis the other day, and I was like, yo, bro, you watch SmackDown? No, I didn't. I haven't watched SmackDown in years, bro. After watching the whole Jelly Roll thing on SmackDown, I'm like, you know what? I'm invested. Because I'm going to SummerSlam, baby. So, Sharon, what were your overall thoughts about Saturday night's main event?
I honestly thought Saturday night's main event was fine. However, I think when Seth got hurt, it was snake bit. And to be honest with you, I think I said this at the beginning of the program. Out of 10, 7, maybe an 8. Honestly, for Saturday night's main event, closer to an 8. But the production mishaps leading to the main event, not a fan. Not a fan. And as a matter of fact, I know that there is fan cam footage of
Seth Rollins leaving the ring?
Of Seth Rollins leaving the ring, and I have queued up to watch when we sign off here, the Goldberg speech and stuff like that. But I'm very, very curious to know. I'm going to look it up for us all right now. I want to know what WWE has uploaded in regards to Gunther versus Goldberg. What I assume to be the last 3 minutes of it, yes, it is on the WWE's YouTube channel. They uploaded that 13 hours ago, so about an hour after the program ended. However, there is no, as of this writing, there is no post-show highlights to any degree.
I looked as well, too. The most you might see is a picture somewhere of Goldberg standing there with Cody Rhodes in the ring and all the other stuff, but you don't really see anything too crazy. If you ask me what I felt about Saturday night's main event, I felt that Saturday night's main event was better than the last one. I like when WWE is utilizing those 2 hours and they're only displaying 4 to 5 matches. I think 5 matches, or was it 6 last month, as Saturday night's main event was way too many. All the matches ran a little bit too short. It was just something to do. But let me ask you this, Cheyenne. Do you feel that Saturday night's main event's happening too often?
Well, what are we getting now? 4 a year?
We are, allegedly.
No.
It feels like Saturday night's main event is just happening way too quickly. If you think about it, if you just think, if you don't look at the calendar, don't look at your calendar. Put your calendar away. Don't go to Google.
Okay.
Listen. But if you look at it on paper, what you're seeing is that there's a Saturday night's main event. There in January, and there's one in March or May or whatever it was. But they're still playing a Saturday night's main event every single quarter, and it just felt like between the one that happened last month and the one that happened this month, in May and the one that happened this month, it just felt like it was happening way too quickly. But I do want to say though that they are still happening once per quarter. If we're getting it once per quarter, it's fine, as long as we don't do it again until December. We got
right.
Look, do it again in the third quarter. Just don't do it now.
If we're getting one a quarter, it's totally fine to me. And then if you look at the fact that up until the last 2 weeks, the only thing we knew was happening in Saturday's main event was Goldberg and Gunther.
True.
We did not yet know we were going to get a WWE weekend of The Bash, Saturday's main event, and Evolution until significantly later. So it's not like we knew we were going to get 3 shows, including Saturday night's main event. I think they're fine. I think they give platforms for, if at the pay-per-view there's a blow-off for the world title, you can put the WWE title on Saturday night's main event. Mm-hmm. If on the pay-per-view the women are dominating, you can put the men on Saturday night's main event. This goes back to my argument of WWE being so top-heavy that you could put anybody on any of these special weekends and they can main event, and everybody's happy. I think the format is fine. Saturday Night's Main Event was not a regular program 30 years ago. It was not on every week. We were not doing weekly wrestling yet. I think it's fine. And we're also, depending on how old you are, you don't really understand Saturday Night's Main Event in the history of pro wrestling.
That's right. It used to come on when Saturday Night Live was not on the air.
This is just a show for you. This, without Saturday Night's Main Event, you don't get Raw. Saturday Night's Main Event was the supercard show in between pay-per-views. Then, right when Saturday Night's Main Event cut off, all the megastars went to a show called Monday Night Raw. So I don't think, depending on how long you've been watching wrestling, you understand how important this show is for people of our age. So to you, it's just another show.
Cheyenne, when you say our age, we're talking about the people that are watching the Tristen Law Show, whether it's live or on demand. We're talking about the people that have knee problems, that have back problems, that, you know, that when I get out of this chair, I go, oh, God, right? Okay, Cheyenne, let's put a pin in this. Match of the night. And I want to hear from you guys as well, too.
McIntyre and Orton.
Give me your match of the night in the comments, everyone, and I'll run over them at the end. My match of the night.
It was going to be Seth Rollins and LA Knight. I'm telling you that. But it was McIntyre and Orton.
Okay. For me, it's Goldberg versus Gunther.
Look at you. Look at you being a grown-up.
I'm all grown up. I can now pee by myself.
Look at that.
All right, biggest surprise for you. Everybody, give me your biggest surprise in the match. I mean, in the comments. What's your biggest surprise? Cheyenne?
Goldberg going through the barricade dolo.
Okay. For me, it was Goldberg losing.
Oh, you see, you went right back to it. You went right back to being a hater.
Bro, I didn't think that Goldberg was going to lose. Look.
You went right back to being a hater in one moment.
Look. I'm a heel. I'm a heel. You've only known me as a heel. All right? Like, in this bottle right here, you might think it's water. Some might think it's vodka, but I don't drink when I'm getting ready to go to work. It's haterade.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Goldberg was going to lose. If you watched the preview that I put out, where I was predicting the matches, on the bottom I said, please God, make Goldberg not win. Give me your rewatchable moment of the night, Cheyenne.
Jelly Roll knocking out Logan Paul was pretty cool.
For me, my whole entire rewatchable moment of the night was the entrance with Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. You could 100%
Oh yeah, great reaction.
That the reaction was good. You can tell that Jelly Roll is a fan. You can tell that it's more than a money grab for him. For him, he gets to live a dream.
Sure.
All right. Here's the final one. Wrestler of the night.
Gunther.
Why?
Because Gunther was put in a position to handle somebody's final moment under the sun, and he excelled at it.
For me, my wrestler of the night is Gunther. And the reason why I put Gunther in there is because, you know what, man? Gunther took chicken poop and turned it into chicken salad. He made us believe that Goldberg, he kept Goldberg strong. Goldberg kept him strong. And he went in there, he did the unthinkable. Goldberg put him over. You know, it was a great match. He made Goldberg look good. You know, I don't think Goldberg made the match look good when he sat up like The Undertaker at the end. But you know what? I definitely match of the night, wrestler of the night goes down to Gunther. Let's run through this chat one last time. We got Universal, who's number one. He's had a lot to say. You know what, Universal, keep playing around. When this channel blows up, bro, you're going to be, or sis, I don't know who you are. You could probably be a moderator because you do a lot of heavy lifting in the chat. So shout out to you. Heel Vegas says that Tristan sipping on that haterade like an addict. That's right. I like his 8. He says that the knee injury never leaves you the same. Happened to Seth and now Asuka. Ryan Good News says that Goldberg versus Gunther was the best match because I've been a Goldberg fan for like 30 years now, and I'm a Goldberg hater, so take this. Let's see. Universal Tristan agreed. Gunther did a good job making crap look good. Let's see. Heel Vegas says they're talking about the cash-in. Let's see. Naomi should only... Heel Vegas says that Naomi should only cash in to screw Jade. She doesn't need to wait for Jade to win. she could cash in during the match, make it go multiple ways. Yeah, okay. I think it'd mean more, though. It would mean more if she just took it from her when she won it. Let her win it and just snatch it from her.
Cosign.
Let's see. Universal says you could only cash in on champions. That is true. But if she puts herself in the match with the Money in the Bank, she can still participate in a Money in the Bank match. Heel Vega said exactly she could cash in doing Tiffany versus Jade. She could even pin Jade to win since it'd be a triple threat match at that point. Universe says triple threat? No. The rest of what you said, maybe. Okay. Heel Vega said that she could interfere after Jade hits Tiffy with Jaded and calls a DQ, beat the brakes off of Jade with the briefcase, and cash into Tiffy. All right.
Okay.
MG Guerrera, thank you very much for joining. He said, I wish Asuka would have another title run too. I don't know how I feel about Asuka right now. How do you feel about Asuka?
I'm curious to see where this run goes, but, you know, she's got a lot of momentum to rebuild for sure.
Where was she? Injured?
No, she wasn't injured. She had a health scare, and then she had a security scare.
Okay. And let's see. But it was not a good... Universal thinks that the main event was not a good match. And, yeah, so that's it, Cheyenne. Put yourself over, brother. Let everybody know where they can find you. And if you're looking for Cheyenne's YouTube channel, when you're done with this, go to my channel, because you're already here, and hit playlist and go all the way down to the bottom and check out Cheyenne Ortiz. If you like another voice in wrestling. He does announcing, he does color commentary, he does play-by-play. So if you got wrestling, boxing, UFC, or you know what, even a Uno card tournament, that's a wink to you, Cheyenne, he can be the announcer for you. So put yourself over. Let them know what you got.
Hello, everyone. This is the voice, Cheyenne Ortiz. You can find me at linktree.com/Cheyenne the Voice. That's linktree.com/Cheyenne the Voice. Of course, you can catch my podcast. The following conversation is scheduled for one fall, coming up with season 3 in the next coming weeks, including many guests, women's wrestlers, promoters, and so much more, including content creators. And breaking news, I'll be interviewing Tim Han Rivera from Subway Mania and so many more on the following conversation is scheduled for one fall. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook fan page for more.
Well, everybody, that was Cheyenne Ortiz. Let me know what you think. Because if you like what we did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow, I'll be back with Felicia from the Storyline Podcast, and we are breaking down WWE Evolution. Tonight, make sure you watch it. Trina, I'm talking to you. Make sure you watch it. This is the Tristen Law Show. He is Cheyenne Ortiz. Thank you so much for watching us, and I'll see you next time.